So what I want to do in this video is just kind of talk about what happened on Philipher's late stream last night where he was playing Marvel versus Capcom. And thank you, Raw Phil, for allowing me to never have to give this man a view of his very own. I can take it from you. I appreciate you for it. Apparently, Iron Chef Sakai decided to come back last week. Was it last week or, a week and a half ago? He decided to pop off in Phil's Kick Chat and saying things like, it wouldn't matter if I gave you $1,000, you would still hold your hand out and say, well, I'm trying to get to 1,500. And the guy sounded very frustrated and very upset. And so when we're talking about dynamics like this, when it comes down to people who behave this way, it's just kind of something that I wanted to talk about. I'm not diagnosing DSP as a narcissist. I don't have the authority. I've never talked to him. It would be impossible for me to make that diagnosis. But I do have 6 years of studying the disorder under my belt, and I certainly know what the signs of the disorder look like. And when it comes to this individual like Iron Chef Sakai, I don't know this gentleman either. But I do know, again, and do understand fairly well relationship dynamics between somebody who behaves like Phil and somebody who behaves like Iron Chef. So when you are dealing with somebody who has these narcissistic traits and tendencies, they're very greedy, they're very selfish, they're very demanding, they completely lack empathy, all of these things. And it's been pretty well documented over the years that this is the way that Phil behaves. So when you have somebody like that, and then you have somebody who, again, I know even less about Iron Chef than I do about Phil, but it seems very clear to me that this is a person who very much maybe doesn't have a big family, maybe doesn't have a lot of friends, and you get into these parasocial relationships with people on the internet, and you have folks like this gentleman down here in the corner who love taking advantage of people and taking advantage of weak-minded people or lonely people or people who struggle with things like codependency, all of that kind of stuff. So this guy was in Phil's Kick Chat, like I say, a week and a half ago, and he sounded like he got very frustrated. And this is normal, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, a platonic relationship. People end up getting tired of the more abusive person and their behavior. They take and take and take and give very little, if anything, back. And then as soon as you give, they hold their hand out as if you have never given them anything. Very ungrateful. And it was very clear that it was getting to this guy. He popped off. He said a bunch of, insulting, things towards Phil and, said, fuck it, I'm getting out of here, and bailed out. He went over and did his own Kick stream. I don't have Kick. I have no interest in getting Kick, but some people, thankfully, restreamed it and talked about it. And the guy just said that he was tired of, Phil's behavior and so on and so forth. But anyway, long story short, he decided to come back last night, and I don't have any of the screenshots or whatever, but we are going to kind of analyze what Phil had to say about this gentleman's return to his stream. Of course, he came in and dropped a $100 super chat to get Phil's attention. That'll definitely get his attention. And I think he dropped some memberships or something like that. But anyway, at some point where I have the video pause now, Iron Chef had come in and said something, and at this point it now has Phil's attention. So I'm going to go ahead and play it from here and just give my thoughts on it. So here we go.
Yes, it's like, listen, it's like I said, Iron Chef Sakai is welcome to contribute if he wants, but I can't depend on any tip that he does. If he acted like the way he did over on Kick, that's unacceptable. If he wants me to actually count a contribution tonight, he's got to do something on YouTube that's not refundable, because you can't refund a YouTube sub, or a YouTube membership. You can't refund a super chat. It's not possible.
So let's go ahead and discuss this little chunk here. He was basically saying that he was going to go on to Kick and he was going to expose Phil. He was going to do all this stuff and he called him a beggar. He was really, pretty mean to Phil and pretty rude to him, regardless of whether or not, he deserved it. And so now all of a sudden, we see this totally flip to, well, you can come back. I won't ban you, but you're basically going to have to give me some money. And this is, again, pretty much how it works in these very, very toxic, again, relationships, friendships. It doesn't have to be romantic, whatever. The narcissist, or the highly narcissistic type style person will allow, these codependent people and everything to come back, but they have to give something. Something has to be given. You either have to apologize, and we know this guy has an apology fetish. He likes to humiliate people. Again, also signs and traits that someone, would have MPD or, again, would register up high on that scale. And so I'll allow you to come back, but just know that I'm not going to trust you. But if you want me to trust you, you have to give me something. And here are all of the rules and terms and conditions that you have to follow. And maybe I'll think about it. Again, people like this, people like Phil, they're very grudge holdy. And once you do something that kind of spurns them, that kind of makes them upset, these are people that are never going to forget it. He can't find his way through a video game that he's played 7 times, but he knows everybody who has wronged him, how many times they've done it, what he thinks the slight is against him. He has a running tally in his head, guaranteed of all of that. I don't care how long this Iron Chef dude decides to stay around. Phil will never let this go. He will never forget it. He might not bring it up, but it was seen as disrespect. You've gone against the master, you've gone against the person in control, and you kind of get knocked back down to the bottom of the totem pole, so to speak. But now we're seeing how this kind of behavior comes into play. Phil still understands that this guy has value, so he'll shit on him, but only a little bit. He'll be mean to him, he'll be mean and nasty, but then say, but if you give me something, well, maybe an arrangement can be made. So now, as we can see here, his $100 super chat comes through, and he re-ups his membership at the ultra supporter level. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm skipping through all the garbage here. So skip.
All right. So Iron Chef Sakai, no exaggeration, dropped a $100, well, $99.99 super chat.
Still can't give nobody a penny.
So there's no way that can be refunded. So that actually does count for the stream. It has to, He can't get that back. So thank you, Iron Chef Sakai. That is official. It's counted. So we are now up to $180 in contributions tonight. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, we are at 29 goals hit. Yes, we are.
I just have to stop it here because I want to say it officially doesn't matter what you say or do to this guy. If you have a C note in your hand and you give it to him, not all is forgiven, but he'll just totally just let you right back in. And I kind of think that's why this dude ended up coming back, because he did the stream over on Kick. He got clowned on a little bit because he attempted to, I don't know if he attempted to say that he was a detractor, but he was saying things like he was trying to get into Phil's Discord. I don't know if he has a Discord, and I really couldn't care less, but he was going to try to do all of these things, but he's given like hundreds and thousands of, dollars to this dude, and he's very clearly, not somebody who was, I don't believe, to be from the detractor verse, and I never really thought he was. Most people who break their pignosis, they're a little bit more humble. They say, yeah, I was helping, I was supporting, but now I see, that was wrong and I don't want to do that. And, things like that. They usually don't become they're all bragging and they get on a stream and, well, I was going to infiltrate this and I was going to do, this and that. It just is behavior that to me looks like someone who is really, really desperate to belong somewhere. So he got fed up with Phil, tried to go find somewhere else to go, did not get, excuse me, the warm reception that he thought he would, and then immediately went, uh-oh, I think I screwed this up. So let me go back over here and try to get in this person's good graces again. However, with a person like Phil, you really, really, really have to kiss his ass. Again, he'll never forgive you. You'll never be cool with him again if you ever really are with him to begin with. But it's never straight. It's never cool. It's never good. But he will continue to make your money, and he will continue to guilt trip you and make you grovel. Because if it's one thing I know about these people who behave like this, and I know a lot, it's that when you do something like this that slights them, they will never let you forget about it.
And that means that tonight here on DSP Gaming, we made it rain in Seattle. How do we turn this off? There we go. We made it rain in Seattle. The King's coffers are filled. Again, for 29 times, we are only one away from the Taco Bell DSP Tries It. How awesome, right? Well, Iron Chef Sakai, I don't know if I can trust you.
I don't know if I can trust you, you absolute loser. But anyway, I just want to bring attention to this real quick, that this is a 42-year-old man. Just thought I'd say. I will leave this here. I'm fairly close to his age. I'll say it like that. This is an absolute embarrassment. I am a full-time YouTuber. I have been for 6 years. I did Twitch streaming. I stream on my YouTube channel. This is an absolute and utter embarrassment. But that has nothing to do with why we're here. So continue. He doesn't know if he can trust him. Here comes the guilt right here. I don't know if I can trust you. Are you sure you're gonna behave yourself? You better tell me you're sorry. This is really super yucky behavior right here, to say the absolute least.
I'm not gonna ban you on YouTube.
No, I'm not gonna ban you on YouTube because you keep giving me money.
But I certainly don't know if I can actually trust you or not. I don't know why you acted up the way you did.
You know why he acted up the way he did? Because I'll tell you. And you know why too. Because he got frustrated with you. Because people give and give and give, and you are an endless fucking black hole. And it's never enough. And the more you feed a black hole, it's never satiated. It doesn't fill, it expands, and it gets bigger and bigger. That's why. Because you're frustrating. Because you're ungrateful. Because you're pathetic. Because you're rude. Because you're highly narcissistic, among many other things. That's why. Because people get tired of being stepped on. Because people get tired of being taken advantage of and being made to feel like they have to keep your cushy fucking lifestyle to continue on. And they get sick of you. And then they try to find somewhere else to go. And for some people, it's harder to leave than others, like this gentleman here. Again, I don't know anything about that dude and that Iron Chef Sakai, and I'm not going to shit on him because I just don't really think that it matters. I actually think what's more interesting here is Phil's behavior, not this dude who can't seem to break the pygnosis.
About, last couple of weeks, it wasn't just
Oh my God, this music is so cringy.
a one-time thing either for Chef Sakai. He was actually acting pretty negative for weeks and weeks. And then he went on to do a whole stream about how he didn't like me and he was trying to snake me and shit. And now all of a sudden he's back and he wants to contribute. So you judge how you want, but you can't refund a super chat.
All he's worried about is whether or not he can try to refund the money and whether or not he can try to, like, this dude can charge back the money. All he cares about. He literally goes, well, I don't trust you. Everybody else, you can think whatever you want. And it's okay that he talked mad smack about me, but just keep that wallet open. Just keep that wallet open.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna listen to him either. Like, I don't believe that the guy is genuine in his intentions. He outright did a whole stream of negative about me, right?
I can confirm through watching a Duty video, shout out Duty, big ups, you are my inspiration, that Iron Chef Sakai went back and deleted the video that he did on Kick. How Phil knew that he did that, I mean, the guy said, I'm going to go and blast you on Kick, but I find it interesting that Phil went and watched it.
Rare Trick says, Iron Chef Sakai complained DSP strong-armed him into donating, which never happened.
Absolutely happened.
He was forced to buy his way back in. Never happened.
Absolutely happened, because if he would have just came into your chat for free and said, hey man, what's up? He probably would have been banned. Or you would have shit on him, humiliated him, made him feel even worse about himself, and then you would have banned him. That's how it always happens. For anybody to get back into your good graces, they got to swipe a credit card or write you a check. Don't act like it's any other way, because it isn't.
Pretty brutal. Don't mess with the king, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Okay. There was a resub on Kick 25 minutes ago. All right, thank you, Kyle. Whoops. What the hell? Hold on.
But he knows so much about streaming. Look at this boomer. Try to operate this setup. Let's get our laughs at his expense where we can, ladies and gentlemen.
Didn't mean to click that. There was a resub I apparently missed as well. So let's count that.
Because he don't count the resubs. He don't like them. He wants new people.
And then, so it looks like originally, no, guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, while all that was happening, I didn't know it happened during this set, NDO 103 tipped
another absolute dent extraordinaire
to me $75. So NDO 103 with a $75 whopper of a tip. Thank you so much, NDO. It's good to see you. Happy holidays to you. Thank you for the support tonight. So with that tip,
couldn't you have bought Christmas presents with that money, or given it to charity, or done something with it? I mean, honest to God, hundreds of dollars that you honestly would get more benefit from if you crinkled it up to make it slightly softer and wiped your ass with it. Mind-boggling.
he is the biggest tipper of the night, so let's get him up on the leaderboard.
Oh yeah, you got to get him up on the leaderboard.
I can't type on this keyboard. I'm not used to it yet.
Yeah,
so that gets us up
we
to
can see that.
260. Guys, we are $40
How he can count past 10 without taking off his shoes is beyond me.
away from doubling the goal, and if we do that tonight, it guarantees we do.
See that right there? Thanks for the $100 super chat, cuck number 1. Thanks for the $75 tip, cuck number 2. But now, if we can just get $40 more, you see that? He handed $175 and he was already at $80. So now here we hit at 260. Here we are, right here. But I just need a little more, you guys. If I could just get a little more. Imagine handing somebody $75, $100, whatever. It doesn't matter what financial bracket you're in, if that's peanuts for you or if that's a lot for you. Imagine handing somebody that and having them go, oh, thanks, but hey, listen, if you give me 40 more, I'd really like that. You just saying thank you doesn't make somebody grateful. You could have left it at, we hit the goal tonight. That's so awesome. Thank you guys so much. But no, we got to push it further. We got to push. And that is the kind of stuff that for people like Iron Chef Sakai, they just can't handle. I don't know what's going on with NDO where he just can't see that apparently, and all these other cucks that give this guy money, but what are you going to do? But that is the most frustrating part right there. $260 for doing fuck all, by the way. This is not an incredibly difficult job to have. I've been doing it for 6 years. It is the coolest job in the world, the most awesome job in the world, the most rewarding job in the world, and I never have to put pants on if I don't want to. This is unbelievable. But look at this. Handed hundreds of dollars. But if we could just get a little more. Sickening. Absolutely sickening.
Do DSP tries it first stream on Sunday when I come back from break. We're that close. He says, did you get to see Doug Doe versus Sanford Kelly MVC2 Money Match Evo 2006 in person? Yes. 100% saw it in person.
he rambled through that so quick. I have no idea what the fuck he said, and I actually care so little that I'm not gonna run it back. I don't care. Nobody cares. But because he got, $75, he's gonna pretend to give a fuck about this loser for a minute.
Person was right there, part of the action in the crowd. It was very exciting, and Sanford won. It was very interesting, very competitive. Okay.
It was very interesting. It was very fun. Is there a switch on his back that you got to push that like gives him the personality? Where's the personality button? Does it just not come with this model? What are we doing?
Okay. Someone sent me $2 is why did you stop using Instagram? Quite frankly, just because people kept using every single piece of information that I put out against me in some kind of a toxic and negative way, so I just said forget it. And
Really? Because I'm using what you put out on social media for some pretty toxic shit right here. I think what that's code for is I don't know how to work Instagram into giving me any money.
I stopped doing it. And basically I just didn't really care anymore after a while, so that's why.
Yeah, I didn't really care anymore after I tried to upload shit and people were taking my photos and making really great memes out of them, and then I wasn't making any money. Yeah, fuck that.
That's really it. That's the only reason. All right, I'm gonna try to get one more set in tonight, and that'll be the end of the stream. Guys, can we hit 300? If we hit 300, we have hit the goal, and we lock in for DSP Tries It on Sunday, the Taco Bell Chicken Nuggets, all right? Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can get one more set and lock in for Sunday. All right.
I think that was pretty much the end of the Iron Chef Sakai bit, and I really don't want this video to be a super long one anyway. I'm not sure if he says anything else about it, and again, I can't really be bothered to look. I also don't know whether or not he hit the goal, but y'all can check out. I'm sure Raw Phil has something, if you just go to the end of the stream, it'll say, I'm sure Duty has a video. I think he did end up hitting it because, I mean, come on, who can resist watching somebody else eat Taco Bell that you don't get? I mean, the allure alone, I want to give this man $20 fucking. So thank you very much for listening to me ramble on about this. It was something that I wanted to cover, and the guy here is off today, so he's not giving me anything fresh to critique, so thought I'd go ahead and go over this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.